It's the Battle of the Beltway. Baltimore and Washington are underway.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Wentz first play going right to the air. That's swung out wide to Sanders.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A good safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
And once again, they stop him behind the line. Great job by this Ravens defense. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
3rd play here this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Here's Wentz to throw. That's going to be caught by Waddle. And he's going to have a Commanders first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. From the 41, Wentz. It's caught by Sanders. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Wentz to throw again. And once again, this is Sanders. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And it'll be 2nd down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away, and that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Taking it about the 16. And nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And the Ravens, they'll take over. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Gets the nod to start the drive. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They will look to throw. Montana. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Dietrich Wise running through and dropping him for the sack. We're scoreless after 1. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Here's Montana to throw. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. From the gun again to Mixon. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now Montana. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
And he will have a Ravens first down, at least at first glance, as they'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches. On 1st down, Montana. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
From the 31, Montana. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. To throw is Montana. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. 30, 20, 10, 5, and he will bring this one back. It is a pick 6 for a Washington touchdown. Now Cade York for the extra point. And oh, he clanks it off the right upright, and it's no good. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. His throw incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, so far on this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on first and second down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
He'll drop this one down to Mixon, and he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. Montana going for it on 4th. Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
To throw again on second down. Montana to the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. And they try to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And the Commanders are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. So the penalty there winds up on the offense, so obviously it's declined, and we have a change of possession. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. They fake the give. Now Wentz. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Ooh, I like it.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. From midfield, here's Wentz. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Wentz. Flushed out right. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
A final shot before half for Wentz. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. The gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
Back to Mixon on second down.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. Again, it's Mixon.
And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
9 yards, and that leaves them just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard.
Montana going to keep it on the sneak.
Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. Only a few inches needed on the sneak. He didn't get it, and now it's fourth down.
Well, that play seemed well scouted defensively. They collapsed everything inside. Nowhere to go in the quarterback sneak. Now he's going to bring up fourth down.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
And does Washington have it? They do.
So they tried it. Not only did they not get the first, they fumbled it away.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it went from bad to worse, but I know that everyone's going to pile in on the call and say, well, what are you doing? Why would you go for it there? I think that teams that are convinced that they feel pretty good about their game plan, what they want to get done that day, go for it. Give it a try. Hey, let's see if your defense can rescue them a little bit.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They give him 16 yards there, and it's a Washington first down.
Now, any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Wentz's throw taken in by Sanders. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down.
One of the league's best linebackers, he ended that play almost before it began, and the running back absolutely overmatched no matter what he tried to do.
Now Wentz.
That's caught by Gabriel Davis. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
3 quarters in the books. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is third and long. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Here we go.
The penalty helps a bit, but still 8 yards to go on third down for this offense. Throwing now is Wentz.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's fourth down.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
York able to send this one through,
and that will make this a 9-point lead.
So that's, CD, an important one here in the fourth quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all.
This is caught inside the 15. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 52 yards. Montana. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Jamal Adams.
And the Commanders are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line.
Yes, folks, that is his third interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot.
Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. So maybe the defense will have to kickstart the offense here. The first points of the game comes from that defensive unit.
Yeah, sometimes you get together and you say, hey, maybe it's on us today. We have to go out and force the issue and make a play and get everyone else going. And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Operating out of the gun, here's Montana. Open man here. It's the tight end, Kelsey. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Joe Montana here going to the air on first down. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And his throw here is incomplete.
Nice job escaping the pocket, and boy, he took the shot downfield towards the end zone, didn't he? Trying to go for 6. It just wasn't there against that coverage. They were ready to prevent the big play.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Montana. Open man, it's the tight end, Kelsey.
And he's got a first down there after a gain of about 12 as the clock will stop right now for the 2-minute warning.
Back to throw again. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. They took their shot for the end zone, almost cost him.
And he made the right play there, knocking it away. But boy, it looked like he had a chance to come down with the football. And if he does that, this thing is over. Instead, he leaves him out there with another chance.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Randy Moss, an 11-yard touchdown.
And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter.
This taken in at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Wentz to throw.
Pass complete. It's Hockenson.
And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Wentz. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the fourth quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Mears used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
The Commanders going to use the 2nd of their timeouts
as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. A field goal from this spot would be 51 yards. They'll try to move it closer on 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. To Mixon on the check down. And he will be marked down short of the 1st as they get to him at the 29. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. Butker's kick here is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little...
Oh, looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted.
Picked by Kevin Byard. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball.
And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game. Montana will throw for it. And this one's caught. And their fourth quarter lead grows by a couple more. And, of course, on the two-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
It felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
And this is going to be covered up by Washington. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like,
and this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Divine Diablo, and the Ravens will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you pull back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
What a change in this ball game in the fourth quarter, Charles. They just completely took over, and not only did they get the lead, they end up winning somewhat comfortably.
And when we spend time...
Why would I ever have to cop a chain again when the QB chain birthed most of the chains in the game? No post office, we stamping time. Took a slice out of the big apple, made apple pies, family size. Leather bombers and Nike Sacai's. Dangerous corners, you better pray that tomorrow arrive. Rap, Sugar Ray Robinson, nothing sweet. Y'all too out of shape to even box with me. Heavyweight, I know my way around the ring. Just like Shorty know a way around the storm. Making hits with Hit Boy, all he gotta do is hit record. Record-breaking news, had to show up just to fill a void. Confused, boy, little boys, y'all better keep your poise. Leave me out of the weasel. Be cool when you see me, I'm hot at all that rap deep. The hood know you, so we don't borrow, believe in it. Locked in on the instrumental, I took back the key to this. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. Your top three, I'm not number one, how could you post that? I would have crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go at. Meet Joe Black. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. What I'm saying, your top three, I'm not number one, how could you post that? I would have crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go at. Meet Joe Black. What I'm saying, people saying what's already been said. Predictions, I don't listen, it's already in my head, no funny. Your most hungry place, I was past that at 28. Underground tapes, as my ass cap in publishing states. As we slide in the G-Ride, I've been getting criticized, it's keeping me energized. Create with a business mind, I'm from where killers reside. A wild hood, only knew goons since my childhood. Say anything in they raps cause it sound good. Don't even mean what they say, horrible outlook. Y'all ain't really about this house. Y'all was in the house with it. We don't respect fake jewelry and silly outfits. Window down, blowing out. Great tits, New York's J. Prince on Houston Street. I caught the bounce before my even bounced the beat. I took the hard way in it, man, it's the route for me. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. Your top three, I'm not number one, how could you post that? I would have crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go at. Meet Joe Black. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. Your top three, I'm not number one, how could you post that? I would have crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go at. Meet Joe Black, meet Joe Black. Why would I ever have to cop a chain again when the QB chain birthed most of the chains in the game? Why would I? Yeah.
Welcome to the camp.
Hold up, it ain't easy breaking away or being a great. They slamming the door, I'm jumping the gate. Cause a starving stomach like being punched in the face. And an instrumental was the last time that I ate food from all of the base. My ace spoon going, big son told me me about the game. 20 years later, know my name. King, crown me, lounge in the back of the spot. Pay homage to an underground peasant, climb to the top. Funny style on elevators could never fade us. I peep data saying anytime they congratulate us. Goggles is worn and bottles is popping. I'm Deion Sanders on haters, this ice bucket dropping over their head with it. They should have cred with it. You either fight or flight, I ain't one for the legs living. I do it for the one that died or fed millions. With soul food flow that stock my bare kitchen. I'm liberated. I drew a play that they ain't illustrated. I make a move they gladly imitate it. I ain't flattered, I'm a dragon to your paper castle. The alpha and omega, promise it ain't nothing after. A new beginning. My catalog like James Earl Jones, the ever living. Imagine if I did make beats that's more for killing. Imagine if you come from the south out my city. You probably wouldn't make it, oh yeah, really. I go extra to be great. I go extra for the fam, I go extra for the cake. I got extras on the plate. I go extra every day, I got extras on the way. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. Ain't no mileage of $4 configure the road I travel. Don't gravel that probably baffle it. Label scribble on paper, they wanna shackle it. I own my masters and royalties, you can't raffle it. Wrist drip like a mango, fingertips like I'm Thanos. Knocking those down, no bangles. Without a Kango, tailor made.